There's a problem most people never notice. When a mission goes perfectly, you never hear about it. No footage, no medals on television, no press conference, just silence. And that silence is where this story lives. Because somewhere inside that silence, two American forces have been quietly competing, not for glory, not for recognition, but for relevance, for necessity, for dominance. You've heard the names: Delta Force, Navy SEALs. But here's the problem. Most people argue about which one is better without understanding why they were created in the first place. And if you miss that, you miss everything. Because these two units were never meant to be compared. They were meant to solve different failures. Failures that cost lives. Failures that embarrassed a superpower. Failures that forced the United States to admit something uncomfortable. We are not prepared for the wars that are coming. That realization didn't come from theory. It came from blood. In 1979, America watched its confidence collapse on live television. U.S. diplomats were taken hostage in Tehran. The world waited. The president waited. And the military stalled. When the rescue mission finally launched, Operation Eagle Claw, it failed in the desert before it even reached the hostages. Helicopters malfunctioned. Dust storms blinded pilots. Aircraft collided. 8 American servicemen died. No enemy bullets, just chaos. And the message was clear. The United States did not have a dedicated counter-terrorism force capable of rapid, surgical action. That failure didn't just end a mission, it created Delta Force. Delta Force wasn't born with ceremony, it was born with anger. Colonel Charles Beckwith had served with Britain's SAS and saw something America lacked: a small, hyper-selective unit trained to operate independently, globally, without bureaucracy. So Delta was designed with one principle above all else: no excuses, no delays, no failure. Not soldiers, not Marines, not sailors, operators. Men pulled from the best units across the Army, stripped of rank culture, stripped of identity, rebuilt into something quieter and more dangerous. Delta didn't want fame. Delta wanted certainty. Meanwhile, the Navy SEALs were fighting a different war. Their origin wasn't humiliation, it was adaptation. World War II had taught the U.S. Navy a brutal lesson. You cannot invade hostile shores without men willing to swim into hell first. So they created underwater demolition teams, frogmen who cleared beaches under fire. By Vietnam, those frogmen had evolved into something more versatile: sea, air, land, the Navy SEALs. Unlike Delta, the SEALs weren't hidden. They were deployed constantly. Rivers in Vietnam, jungles, coastlines, direct action raids. Where Delta was surgical silence, SEALs were controlled aggression. And for decades, the two units existed in parallel, until the world changed again. September 11th, 2001. 4 planes, 3 targets, 1 message. The era of conventional warfare was over. And suddenly, both Delta Force and the Navy SEALs were thrust into the same arena. Same enemy, same urgency, same shadows. And that's where the rivalry truly began. Here's where most documentaries slow down. We won't. Because tension doesn't come from information, it comes from comparison. So let's put them face to face, not in theory, in reality. Delta Force selection is quiet brutality. Candidates are never officially invited, they're observed. If you're good enough, someone finds you. Then they break you. Long-distance land navigation with no time limits, no encouragement, no visible instructors. You either keep moving or you disappear. No speeches, no redemption arcs. Fail once and you're gone. Delta doesn't train confidence, it tests inevitability. SEAL selection is different. Buds is public, infamous, Hell Week, cold water, sleep deprivation, pain as curriculum. SEAL training is about breaking the ego in front of others. Delta selection breaks you alone. And that difference matters because it shapes how they fight. SEALs operate as teams built on shared suffering. Delta operators function like interchangeable parts in a machine, both lethal, but one is louder. Now let's talk missions, confirmed missions, not rumors, not Hollywood, reality. Delta Force executed the capture of Saddam Hussein. Months of intelligence, human sources, relentless pressure. When Saddam was pulled from that hole, it wasn't chaos, it was control. That's Delta's signature. Delta was also heavily involved in the Battle of Mogadishu, Black Hawk Down. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Delta operators fought with unmatched precision, but even they couldn't control a collapsing situation. Which tells you something important. Delta isn't invincible, it's optimized.
Now, the Navy SEALs. Operation Neptune Spear. Osama bin Laden. This wasn't Delta. This was SEAL Team 6. A night raid into Pakistan, sovereign territory, without permission. Fast, violent, decisive. SEALs executed, extracted, vanished, and the world knew their name by morning. That visibility changed everything. Here's the tension most people miss. Delta Force rarely wants the mission you'll hear about. SEALs are more likely to be sent when political impact matters. Delta is used when deniability matters. So when people ask, who is better, they're asking the wrong question. The real question is, who do you send when you cannot afford to fail or be seen? Equipment? Both use cutting-edge gear, but Delta modifies quietly. SEALs innovate visibly. Rules of engagement? Delta operates with narrower objectives. SEALs are built for escalation. Psychology? Delta operators think like problem solvers. SEALs think like warriors. Neither is superior until context decides. But rivalry still exists because overlap breeds competition. In Iraq and Afghanistan, both units hunted the same targets, sometimes simultaneously, sometimes unknowingly, and sometimes competitively. That tension pushed innovation. It also caused friction, because when two elite units share a battlefield, pride becomes a variable.
So who is better? If you need a hostage rescued in a hostile city with zero media exposure, Delta. If you need a high-risk strike that sends a global message, SEALs. If you need someone to operate without recognition, without credit, without error, Delta. If you need adaptable warriors who can fight, extract, and dominate chaos, SEALs. But here's the part no one likes to admit. In a real crisis, you don't choose. The mission chooses for you. And that brings us back to the silence, because the most important missions, the ones that haven't happened yet, will likely be handled by one of these two forces. You won't know which, you won't hear about it, but somewhere,
Someone will be walking away alive because the right unit was chosen. And somewhere else, someone will still be arguing online about who's better. Which is ironic, because the men themselves rarely care. They're already preparing for the next failure, the next embarrassment, the next moment America realizes again that the world has changed. And when that moment comes, the question won't be Delta Force or Navy SEALs. It will be, who is already there? And that question has no ending, only a loop. Because the next crisis is already forming, and silence is already waiting.